I'm Amanda Lee Sparks. I'm an energy mindset coach, and I help people in business align their energy, deepen their intuition, and make more money. Welcome to Tools of Transformation. This is part 1 of 4. They'll be coming out every week on Tuesday until we're done. And today is all about the violet flame. If you're there, say hello. Oops, that's not the right clicky. So, the violet flame is a fantastic tool. And let me just get my notes pulled up right here. It's also really super easy to access. Traditionally, it's associated with Saint Germain, who's considered to be an ascended master, which is kind of a collection of beings who've come and had life on Earth and then ascended. So, bit of an odd term, but it's also a really old term. Hello, Sharon. Thanks for joining me. So, the violet flame is essentially a healing frequency of energy, a healing and transmuting. Transmuting is the big key here. It actually is a flame that is purple, kind of like in the image that I made for the event here. At least when I see it, that's how it shows up to me. Purple as a color has a high frequency on the spectrum of light. It's a very high frequency, ultraviolet. So the same thing with this energy is it's a very high level of frequency. When I first learned to use it, a lot of years ago, probably around 8 years ago, I was taught to call on Saint Germain to bring the violet flame. You don't need to do it that way. It worked well for me at the time because then I was learning how to call on archangels for healing. So there's multiple different ways to access it, and that's just one. It's not how I use it anymore, though. Now I just access the frequency. There is also a traditional prayer-like poem that people use to access the violet flame, which you can totally do yourself. If you want to, there's a short Google will bring up that. Really easy. But again, you don't need to. The point really is to find the way that works for you to access it. When we call, it is always answered. The thing is, we aren't always in the position to receive the answer. So if your vibration is really low and you ask for something, it's come to you. But if your vibration is too low, here's the answer. Like, you need to raise up to be able to receive it. That's the only thing. So definitely, when we call, it's answered. Trust on that. We have tons of non-physical friends is the term that I use for them. Some people call them guides, angels, other words that work really well. You gotta find the word that works for you. I call them my teams. They're my helping teams. They're my healing teams. And these guys, our teams, our friends, they really want to help us. But we have to ask because we have the free will. So that's why you always have to ask. You ask, it's answered, it's there. Hey, Jen, thanks for joining me. And I like to use the word non-physical friends because it kind of sets I'm the angel. Thanks, Sharon. It sets the tone for how to talk with them. Some people get really kind of freaked out when they want to go talk with their guides because they're like, oh, the guides are above me. Like, no, they're your friends and they want to help you. So if you think of them like an awesome, really great buddy who just really wants to help you, you can kind of have that kind of easy conversation with them. And this really takes the kind of stress of I'm going to do it wrong off of it. So yes, no stress. Definitely need the permission. So anyone can call on the violet flame. You don't need to believe anything specific. It doesn't interfere with anything either. It is a healing, helping frequency. And really what it's really, really great for is transmuting lower energies and clearing them away. It's a clearing tool. It's also a bit of a healing tool because it's a high level frequency, but I use it primarily for clearing away lower energies. So when you're feeling really down, you've been down for a while, you're having trouble feeling happy and joy, this is a good time to call on the violet flame. When I learned to use it around 8 years ago, I used it a ton, like a lot, like every day, a couple times a day kind of things. You can't overuse it. You want it, you call it, it's there. Now I've learned, because this is my stuff that I'm super interested in, I've learned many ways to do this kind of thing, so I don't use it as much as I used to, but it still does occasionally show up to help with a client. When you call, it always comes, but sometimes we don't notice a difference, so we might in our head start to think, oh, it didn't work. It did work. Don't let your head talk you out of it. Sometimes when we call on these kind of things, it shows up differently. So it can feel like heat to some people will feel tingles, some people will feel a coolness, some people just kind of notice that they feel relief, they feel better. Some people won't notice anything at all. Everything is fine. We all are different. We all have different filters of perception, and we will all have different experiences of calling on the same thing. So just let your experience be what it's going to be. As you use these type of tools, can you get a virtual violet holographic flame, please? Yes, we're going to connect to it in a minute. Hey, my Rebecca, thanks for joining me. So as you start to use these kind of energy healing and clearing tools, you become more sensitive to them and you start to feel them more. This is really normal and awesome. So when I use a violet flame, I have a like handy dandy whiteboard. Stick figure time. Oops, can we see? We can see. Okay, so I see a picture of myself in my mind, on the screen of my mind. And when I call on the violet flame, it actually does, to me, look like fiery, but not in a burning bad fire way, like a purple fire kind of way. And that is always, let me just get my more black here. So when you have a stick figure and you've got these kind of like lower energy kind of things hanging around, to me, this is kind of how it looks. Call on the violet flame and it comes and it does its thing. And then your stick figure has no more lower energies because they are all transmuted. Yes. Yay, stick figure diagrams. The hardest thing about calling on this tool is not letting your mind talk you out of it didn't happen. When I call on it for transmutation of lower energies, like I kind of just showed with the stick finger, it takes about 30 seconds. It's not so much of an instantaneous energy, but it definitely does work well. And a lot of it depends on how much lower energies you've got, how long you've been sitting on them, and so how much it's going to kind of transmute. We got any questions? Everybody still good? Sweet. If you got any questions now or in the replay, please put them in the comments and I will respond. So, you ready to connect with the violet flame? Let's do this thing. So, I invite you to sit, relax for a minute, close your eyes, roll your shoulders back, take at least 3 deep breaths. Good. It's good to call on a place. It's good to call on it from a place of aligned centeredness, at least at first while you're getting used to it. Later, you can just really access really quickly. Hey, Hannah, thanks for being here. All right, so now we're going to do it the original way I learned. We call on Saint Germain and the violet flame to come and transmute any and all lower energies we have right now. So then just breathe. Sometimes you'll yawn. Sometimes you'll do any other kind of method of releasing that is for you. I'm a yawner. And we'll just kind of give it a couple of seconds there because it is working. Every time we call, it is answered. That feels good. That feels kind of done. And then you just say, thank you. That's how you use it. That's one way. So the other way to kind of call on it, what did you guys notice, you guys who are live with me? If you have anything you want to share, please tell me. I noticed that right now, everything kind of feels a little more expansive, a little more brighter, a little more in focus. It's fun. So that's how you can call. Saint Germain, please come and bring the violet flame to me now. You can also just be like, violet flame, and it will come. Spacey. Woo! Yeah! Jen felt a little shift. Awesome. And really, again, you can't call on it too much. call on it whenever you think of it. It is a fantastic, fantastic tool. Notice some tingling and some energy moving upwards. Woo! If you want to get into the habit of using a tool like this, it's good to associate it with something else. So when I was learning energy healing and clearing and chakra stuff, I attached that to when I was brushing my teeth at night. And then I switched that because it was annoying, and I did it too when I was laying in bed and I was trying to relax myself to sleep. So then I knew for a while before I switched it off. When I brushed my teeth, that was when I called on the violet flame and I did my daily chakra clearing stuff and my empathic shielding. Because in the beginning, it takes a little bit of habit forming to use these tools, because we learn them and we have them, and then we get stuck in our shit and we forget we have tools. So that is my awesome suggestion to help you remember to use it daily. Because if you use these things more often, you get more sensitive to them, and you get easier access to them in that it becomes kind of like second nature. Like you would brush your hair to call on the violet flame to clear your low energies type of thing. So you can call on Saint Germain, you can just access the violet flame, you can kind of just visualize it, like the stick figure kind of diagram, violet flame. At the end, you can just say thank you, or just feel the gratitude and expression. That's all they really want. The really key thing is, do not let your mind talk you out of it. Yes, you did it. Yes, it happened. Yes, it did. But our mind will say something like, oh no, it didn't do that. Oh, you're making that up. This is common. This is what happens. So you just have to tell that part of you, thank you. I know it worked. Any other questions? Did everything make kind of sense there? It's one of the easiest tools to use and access because it is so simple. Oh, more changing. Yeah, my Rebecca knows that feeling. So, thank you all for being here. We have 3 more weeks of awesome tools. The next one is going to be forward writing for manifestation. Sharon asks, can I program my easy button to be a violet flame? You can. You can also create a violet flame button if that works well for you. Make it a purple one. Can I please repeat the sentence you say to invoke the violet flame? Sure. So the one way to call it on it, again, is to just say, Saint Germain, please bring the violet flame to come and transmute with me now. Or, if you don't really resonate with saints, violet flame, come to me now. Or just like access violet flame. You want to just kind of play around with it and find what works for you. Some people have resistance with words, and that's fine. Just find a new word. I went to 4 years of Catholic school. I don't really like religious words myself. Saints I'm okay with, but like when I started, I definitely used the Saint Germain, come bring me the violet flame. There is, again, a traditional prayer poem. It's, I think, 6 lines. I discovered while I was doing some research to articulate more about this, which I was like, oh, that's interesting, but people were really using that a lot in the 80s, so for me it just didn't resonate. But if you find that works for you, go check it out. Access violet flame. Yeah, that's much more on my kind of scope of resonance right now, because I love sci-fi stuff. So it's like, access violet flame, or push a button. Create some kind of construct for you in your world that makes it work, because that's the whole thing. Is these are tools, and it's meant to work in a way that works well for you. You don't need to try and do it my way, which is why I always teach at least 2 ways to do something. And if you want some help with deep clearing, if you've got a lot of stuff going on, connect with me. I have some great prices on short sessions, and we can get you really up and balanced. You like the purple button idea? I like that too. You can set up like an easy button to make things easier in your life, because we tend to make things hard. And then right next to it, in my brain now, I've got purple, violet flame. You are welcome. So thank you so much for being here and communicating with me. It's really fun. I love to share this stuff. So hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye.